everybody, it's Blue Ducky and welcome back to another episode of Doll Comparisons. And in this episode, I'm going to be comparing the different doll characters that are vampires. So if you look here, we got the bratzillaz vampire doll. And then these next two aren't technically vampires, but there's Batsy Claro, and she's a vampire bat. So she's a bat, but since she had vampire, I decided to include her. And the next one is Ghoulia, which I know is in the vampire, but in the Freaky Fusion line, she got her outfit inspired by Draculaura, who's a vampire. So I decided to add her in just for fun. Then we have Valentine, who is a vampire from Monster High. And then there's Elisabat. And finally, I decided to use the limited edition draculaura for this doll comparison. So we'll just take a close look at all of them, see what similarities and differences they have. So before we get started, if you are a new viewer, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay, first I want to look at the makeup and the makeup for the vampire dolls. And for the bratzillaz, she has a nice silvery makeup and red and yellow eyes. And then another thing that they all have in common, since of course they're vampires, they need fangs. And for the most of the dolls, they have painted on fangs over the bottom lip. Here's Batsy Claro, and she has some bright and colorful makeup since she's like a tropical white vampire bat, and she also has fangs like the other Monster High vampires, even though she's a vampire bat, but they are white painted on fangs over the bottom lip again. And next up is the Ghoulia that's inspired by Draculaura, and instead of white painted on fangs, they did this really interesting fake fangs that are 3D, and then you can take them out and put them in. So I thought that was really cool that they did that, that they're removable. And she has these bat wings on her head piece and these really cool cat eye glasses. Next up is Valentine, and he has his painted on fangs. They're kind of hard to see because his light pink lips. And then he has pink eyes in a pink skin tone with black and red hair. Next up is Elisabat, and since she has dark purple lips, you can see her fangs painted on her bottom lip really well. And she has black and purple hair. And finally is Draculaura, and you can see her fangs painted on her dark pink lipstick, and she has black and pink hair. So I find it interesting that like the three main vampires of Monster High all have a pinkish skin tone and all have black and some other color hair mixed in, like the black and red, black and purple, black and pink. So definitely more dark in the hair color, and the fangs are painted on really nicely. Now moving on to the outfits for these three main Monster High vampires. They are lots of black, and they tend to run towards the more Victorian side. I know the Draculaura, the limited edition Draculaura, is supposed to be like her in the past, but even in her more modern clothing, she has lots of frills and pink and black she always wears with bat accessories. And for Elisabat, she looks very Victorian with her corset and the skirt in black and purple. And then for Valentine, he has this really nice suit on, and it's black and pink. So it seems like whatever their hair color is, that's kind of the color scheme their fashion leans toward. And for Ghoulia, since her outfit was inspired by Draculaura, you have the frilly dress, and it has brains on it, which is the fusion of Ghoulia since she's a zombie, but they gave the brains little bat wings because, you know, like they said, it's a fusion. So that really stands out with the wings, the bat wings being vampire. And there's a look at her shoes, which I forgot to talk about the shoes for Valentine and Elisabat, but they both wearing dark black boots. And then for this draculaura, she has Victorian little pink, black, and white boots on. And then for fashion for Batsy Claro, she definitely incorporates the vampire bat into her look with accessories. But she's very bright and colorful because she's more of a tropical bat than a dark gothic kind of vampire. And then for the bratzillaz vampire, she definitely, you can see the Victorian inspired with this like under corset cage thing and the nice red velvet and pearls. And then she has these gorgeous stockings that are lace and then some red shoes. So it does tend to seem when they make vampires into dolls that they like to go a more gothic Victorian route with their style and their accessories. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching this doll comparison of vampire dolls. The majority of my vampire doll collection comes from Monster High. I think they have the most out of any line that I can think of having vampires, because they are monsters. So out of these collection, which are your favorites? I think my favorites out of this one is the Ghoulia that is inspired by Draculaura, because she looks adorable in Draculaura inspired fashion dress. And then Valentine, I think his suit is super amazing, and his pants, they really styled him so he looks very dapper, I guess you could say. As far as like the hair and makeup goes, I think my favorite is the limited edition Draculaura, because she's just super pretty, and they gave her the parasol, and the hat is just amazing. Please let me know down in the comments which are your favorites out of this collection, and maybe if I'm missing some vampire dolls, which are some vampire dolls you have that I haven't shown here. I know I have like tons more of Draculaura's doll, but I just used this one to represent that character instead of having tons of Draculaura to compare. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to thumbs this video up, like it, share it with your friends, comment down below your thoughts on these dolls, and finally, if you're a new viewer, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.